words, and deadly action. It contains real, uncensored examples of hate speech, which may be difficult to watch. Viewer discretion is advised. MTV News presents White Supremacy Destroyed My Life.
A white gunman burst into the black congregation and opened fire.
The only reason someone can shoot people praying is out of hate.
Across the nation, racism is at a boiling point.
We have to talk about the illegal immigrants. They kill American citizens who pay taxes.
The you're saying now is the same we said. You guys are wearing suits, we wore robes.
When hate goes unchecked, it can lead to deadly consequences.
What he took from me, I can't get it back. It was the hardest moment in our life.
In an effort to change the future,
I was really angry.
two families must confront the demons of their past.
Your legacy's over, man.
Will they ever find a way to overcome hate?
But I don't think anybody that is racist can change.
Maybe one day the good I do now will outweigh the bad I've done. God, I'm like a tweaker. It's always scary whenever a car comes. If they come down through here, I know it's either they live here or they don't belong here. This is not a dangerous area at all, man. We live in the middle of nowhere. It's just the KKK is dangerous, and they definitely don't like me. From the day I was born, I was in the Ku Klux Klan. My dad was the Imperial Nighthawk of the Indiana White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. He was an enforcer. His job was to protect the Imperial Wizard, which is the head guy. Growing up, it was his way or the highway. I didn't really know anything else. I mean, I remember going to cross lightings as far back as I remember. My dad, he wanted me to be a force to be reckoned with inside the white power movement. I got there, man. I lived in my own little world with people who believed exactly like we believe, except for Tiffany.
We used to live in a trailer park right next door to each other, and when I first saw him, it was like, wow, he has a lot of tattoos, but I could see this intelligence in him. I know this is gonna sound really cheesy, but the first time we talked, I was like, yeah, one of these days he's gonna be mine. So, like, I fell in love with him as soon as I seen him. I knew Shane and his family was in the Klan and stuff, but I seen the better person inside of him. I just had to figure out a way to bring it out.
These are magnetic cameras. For protection, it does make people think twice when they see them.
We started introducing different things to his life. I introduced rap music to him because that's what I like. And like it just slowly started changing more and more and more.
I started listening to rap music, but I would hear my dad saying I was betraying my race and condemning me for what I was doing. He was calling the shots. And every son wants to make his father proud. And I did it. But then my dad died. I feel like I lost a part of me. But at the same time, I felt relief. When he wasn't in my ear all the time, it really gave me room to think for myself.
After his dad passed away, eventually we sat down and talked about it, and I told him, you have to change.
She just looked at me one day and she's like, look, take control of yourself, or this is a waste of time.
Something clicked, and that's when he started changing.
And then I started learning about other ideologies and beliefs, and I started finding myself like really just disgusting. I don't know how to explain it, like shame. And then I see all this on my arms and my neck, and it was like what did you do, man? So I decided I wanted to drop out. When I went in to tell my brothers I'm not affiliated anymore, it turned into an argument, a straight up argument. I told them they could kiss my and it got quiet and they left. I don't know if they followed me or if they just knew, but I pull into this gas station and pumping the gas. And I remember I looked over and I cocked back to hit, but I was already hit. You know, they stomping and stomping, and my head hit the concrete. And then I woke up in the hospital. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. It's working good. I gotta adjust it a little bit, but it's working. We are live, man.
We moved out here so we could stay out of town and nobody can find us. But I am terrified that I'm gonna get that phone call that he's dead or that, like, he's in the hospital again. Here, we got this today.
Jesus Christ. $1,746. That's not counting food and gas. Well, I'm happy that I got out of the Klan, but it's not been easy. If worst comes to worst, we can eat the dog. I mean, the goldfish will go first, but then the dog second. And now it's actually way harder because it's not just Tiffany and I anymore. Uh-oh, you don't want to be like that. I want him to finish school and I want him to go to college. I want my son to have a better life than I had. You know what would help with the bills is if you get a job. Keep grinding and grinding, but I struggle every day to get by. Hopefully I overcome. I can't guarantee I'm gonna overcome. I have to keep on trying to do the right thing for my son and for my wife.
Your grandma was an angel. I definitely believe that. And that's why she's gonna be in my heart, in your heart, for all eternity. I wish you could have met her. I really do. My name is Kaylin Doctor, and I'm a brand new mom. I live with my boyfriend, Eric, and our new little baby, Covey, who's 7 weeks. You need some tissue?
No, I'm fine.
You need tissue, babe?
You know, when I think about, just creating a whole little person that I love so much, it's kind of overwhelms me a little bit. My feelings, they just start coming out.
I was born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina, and I was 17 when I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Love you.
See you later. I graduated high school, and then 2 weeks later, my mom passed. 2 weeks later from that, I was off to Charlotte to go to school. And this is probably like one of my favorite pictures because it's actually just me and her. This is like right after I graduated high school. As I was walking the stage, I saw her in the balcony crying. And I was just like, it's just crazy how my eyes just automatically hooked onto her. She's big on education, so she was really proud of anybody graduating anything. So. My mom was loving, caring. She didn't turn her back on anybody. She was our angel. And I miss her. I really do. I never thought, what if somebody just tries to kill us because we're Black? I never really thought of it that way until it actually happened to me, so. I was sleeping on the couch that morning, so I saw a glimpse of her before she left.
I got off work at like 5 o'clock that day. We normally go to Bible study, but I was so concerned about work, I just didn't think about anything else.
My mom, she stopped by the house before she went back to the church. And I didn't go down because I was like, no, I don't want her to ask us to go to Bible study. So I was like, I'm gonna stay upstairs.
9 people have been confirmed dead in Charleston, South Carolina after a white gunman burst into the Emmanuel AME Church and opened fire. Now authorities are calling this a hate crime.
This is a tragedy that no community should have to experience.
It was a massacre. The coroner called us and told us that she was one of the people who died.
I had to identify her over the phone. It's just really hard.
That moment was the hardest moment in our life. I'm sorry.
This took place in a Black church. This is not the first time that Black churches have been attacked.
I wish I could be sleeping, carried around and stuff. Yeah, well, you can't. My mom taught us to treat everybody equally. Even if they are racist towards you, turn the other cheek. That's a really hard thing to do. being African American. I'm definitely afraid for him. That's definitely always, worry in the back of my head. If I send him to school or out with his friends, will he come home,
The more the time goes by, the scarier it gets. We literally have to fear for our lives.
I want to try to make a difference in the world. So this could never, ever happen again to anybody else. But I don't think anybody that is racist can change. I think that they can act a certain way and they can act nice, but I definitely don't think they can change.
Black is beautiful. Black History Month. Look at all these cool black leaders. What if we had White History Month? Everybody gets to have pride except for us.
Clearly, he's a racist.
I got tired of being labeled as Madison and Brandon. But now, I'm just Madison and the guy who's way older than me.
Everybody here thinks this is weird.
Seems like you're just getting a little bit jealous.
When it comes to relationships, I just can't win.
This is nuts. It's fine. You could be our dad.
I want to have some fun.
How you doing? I have an appointment with Jeremy to talk about getting a job today. When I was in the Klan, we was slinging pills. We was shaking bottles and making meth, selling those things, membership dues. When I dropped out, all that money went away. It would be easy for me to take the things I learned about drug dealing and quick money to get ahead faster, but that's not an example I want to set for my son.
Shane?
Yeah, what's up, man? I don't want to teach my son that when times get hard, you take the easy road. Hopefully they can give me something, anything, because I'm desperate at this point.
Trying to figure out what kind of path that might be, the best to go. I mean, we've kind of got to overcome some barriers, but we have to define what those barriers are. So what would be some of your barriers?
Tattoos are a problem.
What's your tattoos of?
I'll show you.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely becomes a barrier.
Yeah.
What level of education do you have?
I believe my last grade completed was 6th.
Yeah?
6th grade, yeah.
Well, that's going to be an issue. You're not going to get anywhere without your high school equivalency. You have a substantial amount of education to make up, 6 years worth.
I didn't pull myself out. At the time, my dad did it.
Yeah.
He believed that they was teaching me all lies and all this. He just pulled me out of it. Those decisions.
They last a lifetime, don't they?
Last a lifetime.
I mean, you'll fight this till you're in a box under the ground if you don't fix it.
I know. My dad chose his personal beliefs and his propaganda over my education, man. His views were more important than his son's future. Which is ironic because his views were all supposed to be like the 14 words, their mission cry. We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. Well, he just did nothing but the future for his white child.
Today, I am heading to my counseling session. The last time I was in therapy, we kind of got talking about my mom's death, and I just kind of didn't want to go back after that because I just didn't feel like I was ready to talk about it. I'm checking in for Caitlin, doctor.
Hi.
I have Kobe, and I want to be in the best mental health for him.
Hey.
Hey, Mike. Everything I do now affects my child.
Losing your mom and becoming a mom, tell me some of the feelings that were really related to that.
I definitely felt sad because, especially during my pregnancy, because I wanted my mom there to experience that with me. And, she wasn't there.
This is something that may be hard to answer. If your mom was looking at the last few years, right, choices that you made, do you feel like she would have some disappointment in you? Do you feel like she would be proud?
I definitely feel like she would be disappointed and proud at the same time. For disappointment, I feel like she would be just disappointed that I didn't finish school. In college, I had this one English teacher who wanted me to write an essay about my life, and she wanted me to read it out loud to the class. I told her I was not ready to do that, and she failed me for it. That caused me to withdraw from the school altogether.
There are so many ways that people deal with grief. So when you think back, what do you think your process was?
Shutting everything out. I was really angry because Like, I just couldn't, I wanted to know why. They were simply in church, like, they did nothing to you. And at that moment, that's when I said I hated him. Like, I really hated him. And
people say, well, I understand, but they don't really understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know it's not really good to hold hate in your heart, but what he took from me, I can't get it back. And that was the most precious thing.
How did work one go?
All this from my past just keeps getting in the way. High school diploma, tattoos, stuff like that. That's embarrassing. My dad placed his beliefs over my well-being. I was sitting there thinking about the burden that his beliefs have been on my life, and I just started getting this rage. I didn't realize that I was holding on to that much anger towards my father. I felt hate again.
Forget about the past. It's about the future, not the past. If you hold on to what happened before, then you'll never have a life. You'll never be able to move on from anything.
It's not that easy, man. I dropped out of the Klan after Dad died, right? I never had to face him. So it's something I have to do. I fight every day to progress. When you're full of hate, you're full of anger, you don't move forward, you don't move backward. You stay in one spot and you just brew in it. I feel like I should confront that feeling and overcome that feeling. I feel like I should go to his grave.
We can go through Kokomo.
Let's do it. I don't want to hate you, man. All your f***ing bullshit.
We're like victims of something, of such a terrible hate crime, and we're talking to the descendant of such a terrible, hateful man. Yeah, like supporting that kind of stuff.
Does it make you nervous?
Yeah, definitely.
You ready?
No, I'm not ready. I got something going through my head. This is too much. This is too much. God damn it. I can't. Can't.
It's okay. You had a chance to make up for his mistakes. Raise Wyatt the way you should have been raised. You're a good man. You're a good father. You gotta let go.
Oh, God. You guys just stand back a little or something so I can... Just give me a second up here. Let me... I don't want to hate you, man. God damn, it's hard not to. Ah, damn. All your bullshit. All your regurgitated bullshit. It ain't going nowhere anymore. Seeing how negative and hateful your life was, I just couldn't do it. Had to make my own path. Your legacy's over, man.
proud of her daddy for everything he's done, Wyatt. He would be an amazing father when you are proud.
I feel like I just ran a marathon. But I feel better, actually. You see this little fat thing? Now I feel real good. You ain't never gonna hear that I heard. You ain't never gonna believe that I believed. Is that right? Is that right?
I marched in Charlottesville. I was there to protect my heritage and my culture.
The white supremacist groups, their demonstrations are just dangerous. Just a symbol of blatant hate.
Hey, I'm Amanda. I'm out here living my best life, and I've got my eyes on a spicy boy toy prize. He may think he's got me on lock. It's you and me, baby. But in Siesta Key,
Have you guys seen Amanda?
a girl's got to keep her options open.
Oh, God.
Let's just have fun.
I want to have some fun, fun, fun.
How long will the white race have to continue persecution? We will not let this continue. They piss me off so much. When I was in the Klan, I brought in tons and tons of people, a lot of people. I can't change the past, but I can try to help people now. I want to try to bring out as many people as I can and prevent as many people as I can from joining. Right now, the whole academic racist thing is popular, right? It's popular for them to be racist while wearing a suit, but it's the same, man. Hate is hate. Look at this guy.
Black is beautiful, Black excellence, Black History Month. Look at all these cool Black leaders. What if we had White History Month? Look, everybody gets to have pride except for us.
Clearly, he's a racist. Nick Fuentes is like a 19-year-old kid, speaks real eloquent, but he's speaking the same propaganda we spoke.
We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. Well, you know, I don't know why that's so controversial.
Yeah, I've heard his message. I mean, last time I heard it, they were wearing robes and hoods, but I've heard the message before. He's got a 1488 going everywhere, the rally cry for white supremacists. He's not doing anything different than any of us done. It's just different clothes. It's just a different approach, different style. He has a following. He's preaching a very extreme message. And I might be able to help him if I could sit down and talk with him, because he could ruin a lot of people's lives.
My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes, and we have a great show for you tonight. To begin, we have to talk about the worst of the illegal immigrants. They break our laws and come here. They kill American citizens who pay taxes.
If creating a hostile work environment is calling someone a then you're a and I don't want to work with you.
This was America First, as always. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening. All right. Good viewership today, too.
With the Confederate flags and Confederate monuments, when you see it, it just means racism. It's just a symbol of blatant hate. When I see it, it just means we don't like your kind.
I was not there to spread hate. I was there to protect my heritage and my culture.
The white supremacist groups, their goal is to eliminate the other races. Their demonstrations are just dangerous.
We heard that they were going to send in the National Guard to start breaking up the demonstration. My mom calling me frantically said, somebody's just been hit by a car. Are you okay? Are you all right? And I said, yeah, I didn't hear anything about that.
The death was a tragedy, okay? But let's not pretend like we're talking about Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr.
There it is, folks, 20K. Right there. That means I'm a big dog now. Before, I did not have firepower. But now that I have 20,000 followers, I can really influence the conversation. 20,000 is a nice start, but, you know, we'll see where I am in a year, 2 years.
How many do you want?
1 million. 100 million.
I don't think he understands that the message he's spreading is resonating with white supremacists. He doesn't understand for every action there's a reaction. He could potentially spit that propaganda to a person who goes the ultimate extreme and kills somebody. People's lives are ruined forever over something that he thinks is a big game.
We're going to Statesville, and it's about 45 minutes from Charlotte, and we're going to a radio station just to record this podcast about my mom's death. I feel like I'm ready to start that journey of healing, and I feel like talking about it is step one.
We're like victims of something, of such a terrible hate crime, and we're talking to the descendant of such a terrible, hateful man. Yeah, like supported that kind of stuff.
Does it make you nervous?
Yeah, definitely. Being a woman of color, you hear Robert Lee and you don't automatically think the best. Robert E. Lee was a slave owner and he fought for slavery.
You're not just born racist. You have to learn it from somewhere. So if you're racist, your family is racist.
My name's Rob.
Just think if the racist people now raising their people of tomorrow, I don't know if it will change. But we have to take a stand against it, hate and racism.
With me today are Grayson and Kaylin Doctor. Their mother was one of the individuals praising the Lord in Bible study when someone opened fire. Thank you so much for having the courage to share your story with us today.
I've never really put myself out there as somebody who wanted to be liked.
You're a dude.
I'm a
You are.
Nicole is on a peak with her ex. Don't miss an all-new X on the Beach, Thursday at 9 on MTV.
Anxiety's through the roof.
Tomorrow.
We are beaten, battered, and bruised.
You thought you knew the challenge.
I only got room for 4 players for each team.
But you'll never be able to predict
My fate is a puzzle.
how this war
Oh my God.
ends.
You guys won the challenge.
The challenge finale, all new tomorrow at 9 on MTV.
My name is the Reverend Robert Wright Lee IV. With me today are Grayson and Kaylin Doctor. Kaylin, you were home that night, babysitting.
I think it actually confirmed that it was her. That's when life really just became unreal to all of us. It just felt like we were living in a dream state at that point, knowing that we'll never see our mom again. So.
It's not possible for me to understand, what it's like to lose a parent in such a venomous and vile way. Will there ever be a time when you can forgive him?
If it does happen, it won't be until who knows when.
I definitely agree with you on that. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive him either.
I do believe that forgiveness is necessary most of the times for your healing, but here I am still hurting for the rest of my life because my mom was brutally murdered because of the color of her skin.
This was what was really hard for me thinking about inviting you guys on here. My family took part in some of the most atrocious parts of this nation's history and rebelled against this nation also that we could enslave people. I had a Confederate flag hanging in my room for a time.
Did you understand what the flag stood for at that time?
I think I was proud of my family. I didn't understand that it would become such a symbol of hate. Eventually, someone came into my life, my confirmation mentor, Miss Bertha, who is a woman of color, a strong woman of color, and she said, honey, you got to take that flag down. And I think that even since I've taken it down, it's become even more of a symbol of hate.
I know that you were advocating for getting some of the statues of your great uncle, taken down.
Charleston and Charlottesville changed me. As a pastor, it is my moral duty to speak out against racism, America's original sin.
This pasty, fat, soy-faced a descendant of Robert E. Lee. Like, listen, son, your ancestors were heroes.
I know you said that you resigned because of the attention that was going to be brought onto the church. Do you feel like it was deeper than that?
You guys are giving a good interview.
Yeah.
I was serving a church in Winston-Salem. They thought that by me going on the VMAs and saying that Black Lives Matter, I was endorsing a terrorist organization. And so they gave me two options. I could either recant it or I could resign. It was really hard. There's obviously so much hate in our world. There is enough hate to kill people. White people think that we can shy away from the conversation and just say, you know what, it's not about me. But there comes a time when moral courage and moral responsibility requires us to speak up.
I'm sitting right in front of somebody whose granduncle was somebody who enslaved people who look like me. He definitely proved to me that somebody from that kind of background could definitely change. I want people to hear this podcast and start making actions on it.
I spend my days reaching out to other people, trying to pull them out of hate groups. Mostly, I try to prevent people from getting involved at all.
I see myself as an antagonist. I've never really put myself out there as somebody who wanted to be liked. I enjoy stirring the pot a little bit. When I wear the hat around the city, it's a lot of dirty, nasty looks. She should get the back in the kitchen. Here we go. Quite the crowd. We'll get the periscope working. People want to see conflict, so we're gonna shoot it up here on Twitter. Oh, maybe turn of phrase. Here we are, folks. Moms demand action, anti-gun rally. And here you can see people are very upset. Actually, they want to take your guns. And they've all made their nice little homemade signs. Very sweet. What does that say? NRA guns equals ba ba ba. Dude, why are you concerned about the NRA?
I'm not even really sure why I'm talking to you.
Why not?
Because of the hat.
You're a dude.
I'm a
You are. Yeah.
Okay, please. Excuse me. Any counter protesting's on the other side of the street.
Wow.
Thank
here
you.
we are.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Chicago's finest.
Move along, please.
All right. Well, counter protest is over here. Well, we got kicked to the other side of the street, but we'll be back in a moment. Talk to you later, big fellas.
You're creating a fucking movement of people that are white supremacists.
I'm not creating anything. I do a show on YouTube.
The shit you're saying is exactly the same.
Robbie's just moved in, and everyone can see right through him, except for Juliet.
New man who dis.
You know Robbie
I know
Hayes
who
grew up
Robbie
here.
Hayes is. She was on The Bachelorette.
She's gonna get sucked in.
Oh my God, we're going to Greece!
What are your real intentions with Juliet?
I want you to be happy for me.
The guy you're with is a bitch.
Oh, I think he's up to something.
Do you trust me?
I called the cops and filed a police report.
You know Chloe betrayed me.
Juliet.
You know.
If I have learned anything, it's to stop cheating and to stop lying because people will find out about it.
And we're gonna let it.
You are my friend!
Your favorite relationship show may have froze over, but the drama
I will not accept your behavior.
is hotter than ever.
Dishonor of secrets means secrets. Hot secrets.
Don't miss an all-new X on the Beach, Thursday at 9 on MTV.
Change is complicated. You don't have a conversation with me, and then the next day you're, you know, not racist anymore. Hey, Shane, there is a process of planting seeds, and those seeds are just thoughts. That's what brings the ultimate change, is when they're able to start questioning what they believe in, because then they start realizing, like, this is a little crazy. Hopefully I can get him to recognize the message that he's preaching is a message of hate, and it's dangerous. One thing, man, look, I used to be involved with some extremist groups. 14 words, securing the existence of our people and a future for white children. I see it on your comment board, you know, people.
Oh, yeah.
So the message is the same, right? The rally cry is exactly the same. So
Sure.
I don't understand the difference. I mean, you guys present it a little differently.
Right. I just believe that these are a lot of legitimate grievances that we have. I mean, look at what's happening in our country, where the birth rates for white people are below replacement rate. I mean, doesn't that concern you?
Man, no. If you believe that your race is superior over other, you believe the white race.
Which I don't, though.
You don't.
I don't believe.
You don't believe white people are superior.
Not at all.
What do you believe?
That you have differences between the races.
So you want it to be like the 50s?
Sure. In the 1950s, we were a Christian nation. Men were men, women were women.
In the 1950s, there were still homosexuals. There were still atheists.
Of course. But they were seen as deviant and not normative, which is different. Well, you know, it's funny, I actually got into a big fight with a ton of people in the movement because they were marching with the KKK, because they were marching with skinheads. I said, I'm not about that.
Why would you not want to march with them? Wouldn't you guys want to unite?
But you understand that the KKK has a legacy of killing people.
The alt-right has killed people.
No, they haven't. Who have they killed?
Somebody died in Charlottesville, didn't they? The you're saying now is the same we said. You guys are wearing suits. We wore robes.
Every other race can be proud to be who they are except for white people. Is that an illegitimate thing to believe?
When whites do it, it turns into a hate group. I have never met a guy that said white pride without him intending it to be racist.
What about me?
I think you have racist views, and I think you know you have racist.
What does racist mean to you?
It means you believe your race is superior over everybody else.
So a white supremacist.
Yeah, you
I'm not a white supremacist.
You definitely are.
You sat here and asked me,
what you're doing is you're creating a movement of people that are white supremacists.
I'm not creating anything. I do a show on YouTube.
I see a lot of 1488s, man.
I can't control what people comment.
Why do you think them people are coming to you? Now, if you're saying you're not that type of person, then maybe you should start thinking about what you're saying, because these people think you are that type of person.
I don't know what the KKK says, but
I know what they say.
Okay, well, and let's say for the sake of argument.
I did 22 years. The you're saying is exactly the same.
I'm not a racist. Those are not my beliefs.
He's smart enough to see that he is spreading a racist ideology and that there's people buying it. He can do some damage. He's preaching a very extreme message. I don't think he will understand the gravity of that he's saying until somebody takes action. When I was in the Klan, I brought in tons and tons of people, a lot of people, which is actually something that haunts me now, because one of them stabbed a black guy to death, and now he's doing life in prison. Got a lot on my conscience. I can't change the past, but I can try to help people now.
I'm gonna come see your grandma. I think definitely, like, physically being here, I will always tug at the heartstrings, you know?
Yeah, just even driving in, it's just like, it never gets easier. I don't think it ever will.
Oh, Mommy, this is your grandbaby. The first grandchild, you know? And it's a boy. His name is Covey.
Okay, we got a boy.
Right, we finally got a boy. Covey, this is your grandma. Definitely gone too soon from us, you know. I'm ready to deal with these emotions. I think that that's really good that I'm in a calm space and not anxious like I usually was before. Now I know, like, my mom is, like, looking down on him and just smiling on him, me, so.
Door is on a peak with her ex.
I don't know what the is going on. Like, how is this a thing?
Don't miss an all-new X on the Beach, Thursday at 9 on MTV.
What's up, how you doing, man?
Shane?
Yep, that's me.
Nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you. Super excited, ready to get it covered. This opens up job opportunities. This opens up a whole new life.
What I came up with for you, Japanese demon masks meant to ward off evil and bad luck.
Let's do it. I'm starting a new legacy for my son. I want to be a man of good character and continue to progress. It's gone, man. It's gone. The more I progress, the closer I get to being somebody that my son can be proud of. When he's proud of me, I'll be proud of myself. Oh, it's sick, man.
I used to remember, like, Mom used to bring us here, and, like, I used to, like, love getting the birthday cake ice cream just before the bubblegum pieces. I definitely do hope that eventually we will live in a world where there isn't really much racism. It's not worth it to just hate somebody because of the outside.
I am kind of happy to be home a little bit, you know. I miss Mommy, but it's nice to just revisit, you know, some of the places we've been. And
it's pretty much like making a beautiful thing out of a negative thing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what we got to continue doing.
Yeah, you just remember, you know, the good times that we had.
My mom loved everybody unconditionally, no matter what. Me, personally, I try to live by what my mom says and give every person the benefit of the doubt.
I am extremely grateful for the people that took the time to help me understand that I was wrong in my way of thinking. In the future, I want to be more like those people. Maybe one day the good I do now will outweigh the bad I've done. You know, that sums it up.
The Anti-Defamation League has created a hub to report online hate speech. For more on how to join the fight against hate, visit race.mtv.com.